Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I'm your guide Elpy, and today is the 29th of June 2025. I just had a moment where I was like, maybe I should wait and do a tour after I weed and clean up. And then I'm like, no, you know what? It'll be cooler to do it before and after. So I'm still behind in the garden. It's okay though. And yeah, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the back garden, okay? So here are my sweet potatoes. Took them a long time to start taking off, but they are. Then these two grow bags never got planted. Well, this one did, the peanuts, and the peanuts never came up, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a volunteer tomato. It's not going to stay. I say that because this grow bag has the pockets in the side. I swear, though, I want to plant late potatoes, and I believe that I can. So that's because here's another, that's the peanuts. This is a volunteer tomato and ground cherry, but I'm more than likely not going to let them stay. Here are little finger carrots. They've kind of been taken off. And then I planted this. How do you not have a tag? Okay, Brazilian starfish pepper. That's been there for some time. And here are sugar bomb peas. They're still flowering and still growing. But I might go ahead and pull them again because my Jimmy Nardello in there. I did weed last week, I think it was, but still I really underestimated just how much these peas would shade it out. Then I have these two 25-gallon grow bags. This is the zeolites calendula. Really pretty. This plant is really taken off. I need to deadhead it. I picked some blooms today and put it in kimchi and cottage cheese and herb salad of sorts. It was delicious. Here is a cucamelon. This little guy right here. And then we have the rich sweetness. Its partner, there was another one, but that one died, which is fine. And then this garlic that you may have seen that I already harvested 150 garlic scapes and then some, and then I got quite behind. American flag leek. This is mammoth basil. I just picked the flower off earlier. Something is really tearing this up, and I put that flower in my salad. And then over here we have much the same thing, except we have two garlic, and this is a grass, American flag leek, and then this is the mango melon. I don't yet, well, maybe this is a female flower, I don't know, or just a group of flowers, but yeah, there's that. And then this is my single seed challenge plant, the rich sweetness melon, doing much better than the other one. Actually, I do have a third backup. Here is another cucamelon. It looks like it's kind of getting beat up. Well, it's actually got to extend it out here. So I still need to build my entryway gate that has that these guys can grow up. These two flower pots are the same. This is my hair tie. And this is my first year growing stock, and these plants were eaten by a critter when they were younger, the tops of them, but they recovered well. It's actually why you see the branching sooner, is because they were eaten, the tops. They don't smell as strong in the afternoon, but this is Quartet Marine stock. This is Coloca Sunset coleus, and this is Chinese wallflower, celosia. Same over here. These guys are really struggling. I know this is a small pot, but I thought I could get away with it. I don't know what happened to this dill. I watered deeply everything because we were having really high temperatures. Because see, this dill's fine. And then we got a lot of heavy rain. So that's probably what, I'm gonna guess that's what took out. That dill was too much watering. Okay, all right, but these are, so, okay, these are weeds. Go ahead and you can come back for this. This is King of Black's carnation, more quartet marine stock, dill, blue disc African daisy, beautiful flower. This is the first one on this plant to flower. Isn't that gorgeous? I've been wanting to grow that for a while. And this carnation looks like it's gonna flower before the other one. And I have let this hairy vetch grow, but I have had to periodically move it over. But so here I have 3 peppers in the garlic bulbils grow bags. The bulbils don't look like they're doing anything else, actually. But I'm going to prioritize the peppers at this point. So this is a Zabrange. This is the striped, or I saved these seeds from the striped variety. This is called a isopropyl alcohol spray bottle. These are scissors. I'll show you why I have these out there, but I'm keeping them there for now. This orange spice from orange spice jalapeno that I saved. This is grown from seeds that I saved in 2022. This plant was one that got me asking people about pinching flowers early because it had a ton of flowers on it, and I decided to transplant it with the flowers, and I noticed after I did some heavy watering that the top of it was looking really limp, and I said, okay, I think I'm over watering it. And then I left it alone, and I was like, cool, it's recovering. And then we got tons of rain, and this happened. Now you see that it still is putting out growth. I need to get some sort of stake to, I don't know if the top of this plant's going to recover. Sad, because there's little peppers on there. But that's what happened there, I'm certain. This is Goliath jalapeno. This was actually one that I pinched because I've heard that can be good, and I figured I'd try some pinching and some not. But I've enjoyed the conversation of people saying that don't pinch, just make sure you feed and take care of your plants. Oh, and I almost forgot. These 2 grow bags, they need to be weeded badly. But this is sugar bomb pea, and in there is early girl tomato. Where is she? Yeah, see, that was a nice idea, but what I should have done was maybe just grown a couple of peas, or taken them out sooner, because oh my goodness, dude, here she is, early girl tomato. She found her way, but she's even got a little baby tomato. But yeah, she had to fight through that. And then here is a Bumblebee Artisan cherry tomato. These were one of the first tomatoes I grew back in 2020, and I see its lower leaves got some blight, and that's why I'm out here with the scissors and the alcohol, because one huge mistake I made last year was I kept seeing blighted leaves on my plants, and I told myself, oh yeah, I'll get to those. but I didn't for a long time, and I need to stay on top of it this year because as you'll see when we get over to bed A, I've got a lot more of it going on in here. But let's check out my Vigo metal raised bed first. This is my memorial, a memorial to my dog. I still haven't brought my little angel light back out here. This is a perennial bed, and this lemon balm. I've been saying lemon balm and lemon mint are the same thing, and they're not. Just like lemon bee balm and lemon balm are not the same. Bee balm is the real deal. Lemon balm is something else. But anyways, I need to just hack half of this plant off because I like it, but I don't like it this big. I shouldn't be surprised. It's a mint that it took over. But here is a Sweet William. It's gonna flower again. I've got a bunch of volunteer weeds. Looks like my second of third fenugreek is dying. I grew that for the Planter Herb Garden Challenge. I got 3 garlic growing in here. Well, this one never really took off. I don't know why. That's a weed, but it looks like an interesting weed. This is the neon calendula. First time I've grown this. And the flowers are looking kind of funny in the heat, but it's really pretty bright orange. And there's 2 plants here. And then back here I have Dune Yellow Marigold. These 2. And in here are a couple of garlic chives. Thought I had planted. Then there actually is more Dune Yellow Marigolds under here. This is lovage. This is marjoram. So marjoram was that plant where there's grass that needs to be weeded, and she died, and I was like, well, but I saw that there was like one little sprout over here, and sure enough it grew, and I'm certain it's marjoram. We got volunteer tomatoes that aren't going to stay, but let's see. Then somewhere in here is the Classic Magic Bachelor's button here, and this is actually coneflower, echinacea, more Sweet William, something. It's a caterpillar poop of some kind, and there is hairy vetch in here, and I thought maybe it could be a problem. I did pull some of it out. But then thyme, this was all thyme and it died, except it's making a comeback now. I'm excited about that. Poor lavender. I thought lavender was dead. I transplanted her from one of my front beds, and then it looked like she was making a comeback. Yeah, she's still alive, but she's clearly not gonna do well in this mess. So lots to do there. Okay, this is bed A, and you see I've got a bunch of garlic scapes that are on their way to flowering, which I guess okay. These are volunteer borage, and I'll probably let them both stay growing. This is docile cucumber squash right here. My plan for this is for it to grow under the tomatoes and go ahead, and if it wants to come out and spill over, it can. Now, you see, like I said, I've got to get in here. I said I was going to prune more heavily this year, and I've not even gotten to it yet. But I am today going to definitely get diseased leaves off. All the leaves that look diseased are going, and I'm throwing that away. And here we have individual, so this is a bunch of garlic. We've got the whole bulbs. There were 25 bulbs in here that I forgot about. And who was it? Garden Like a Viking, I heard. Was it Garden Like a Viking? I believe so. Saying the other day that his best indicator, he's figured he's not going, he thinks it's easier to, instead of going by the bottom leaves dying, he leaves a scape on one of each of his varieties, and when the scape is straight, that's his indicator that it's time to harvest. So that'll be interesting to see, because I have scapes all over. But yeah, so okay, here we have a Roma tomato. Then there are, this is also 2 Kellogg's Breakfast right here. They're really close to each other. This is Black from Tula. Then we have Paul Robeson here. That's Black Strawberry. Then this is Lucky Tiger. This is Anise Hyssop, by the way. This is another hyssop I can't remember off the top of my head. As much as I'd like to plant other stuff in here, this thing gets huge. It's just now starting to flower. And the pollinators love it. Okay, we're sticking to bed. Hey. So I said this was Black Strawberry. Lucky Tiger is this guy here. Then we have, I need to get a stake, but this is actually 2 plants. White Queen is over here, and White Cherry is here. Then these Rebel Starfighter Prime got in here late, and they were weak looking, so I planted 2 on some, let's see who does the best. And I'm just leaving them for now. Here on the I have American Flag Leek. I think there's 5 or 6 of them, somewhere between 4 and 6. My Worm Castings tomato is a red grape tomato that I have been saving seeds from since like 2021. This is Japanese Black Trifle in here. Then over here is Baby Roma right here. And then this is, there are little black little flies biting me. Then I have 2 Champagne Bubbles. Thank you, G Mama, for those seeds. 2 Champagne Bubbles right up here. I think that's that. And these are Volunteer Calendulas. I believe these would be from the Pacific Beauty Mix, but I also grew Oopsie Daisy before, which kind of looks more like this one. Okay, now we have bed B, and these are my golden sweet peas. They're dying. I'm done. I got a bunch on here that maybe I'll let them dry, because I did eat some of them the other day. Ate the peas themselves, and they're kind of getting hard. So they're not as good to just eat. They were okay. So, yeah, they weren't bad. I never did cook any. I ate them raw, but would I grow them again? Maybe, because I have the seeds, or maybe I should just pass on them. This is Blueberries tomato, and again, I have some whole bulbs of garlic that got left here from last year, so they would have been planted in the fall of 2023, grew last year, and then I left them. I also have Montana Giant grown around the perimeter, and over there I have Northern White grown around the perimeter. This is a Patty Pan Jean et Vert squash, and then this is Ducat Dill, and the other one was, well, there were 3 or 4 that were eaten. Then we have Siam Queen Basil. Down here, 3 of those plants. King of Bitters. More dill, volunteer nasturtiums, who probably need to go because this King of Bitters looks like it's going to flower. There's another King of Bitters. My Queen Sophia Marigold is somehow, no, it has a bloom on it. Is that just a... This is also cucumber squash. I have 3 Sumter cucumbers on this side, and then this Punakira has some really aggressive growth. Really impressed. Oh, look at you. Oh, he fell off. That was a squash bug. Then over here is another patty pan. Huh. That looks like roly-polies in... It is. So that tells me this plant might not be super strong because the roly-polies... Oops, sorry. Of course my battery's dying. Roly-polies are eating that plant. Not cool. Okay, more golden sweet peas. A couple volunteer nasturtium over there. Look, this Montana giant is straight. Then I have another black from Tula tomato plant right here. And you may have seen the video. This bindweed needs to go badly. I did pull some garlic to help out the Clemson spineless okra. And then this is a collard that is coming back because I cut the leaves but not the stem. And yeah, and this is another Clemson spineless. And then this is heavy hitters okra. That's also heavy hitter. And that is heavy hitter. And then volunteer nasturtium. And I'm going to grow beans here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these pea plants and grow some beans. Okay. I need to hurry because of my battery. So this is bed C. And I did have beets and they got eaten. That's a super bummer. It's really opened up now. I cleared off all that bindweed. I've got some dandelions that I'm going to harvest for eating. This was part of a shade mix. This pretty flower looks like it's done. Volunteer tomato. This is part of a shade mix as well, so I don't know exactly what it is. I'm probably going to drop more beet seeds and things over here that can handle some shade. Another volunteer borage. These are volunteer touch-me-nots, also called garden balsam. This is mammoth basil. I need to pick those flowers. These are also from the shade mix. They're a baby's breath. I planted this calendula. We've got 3 different types of garlic. Northern white music. And I think German extra hardy. This is spotted bee balm. It's perennial. And this, I'm guessing, is columbine and was part of the shade mix. And then this was a poppy that I think was being eaten, also part of the shade mix, by a rabbit, because those plants looked a lot better than that. Yeah, so I need to get dropping some carrot seeds, maybe some lettuce, some more beets. I've pulled that poison ivy and I guess I didn't get it all. This is Japanese Mitsuba parsley. I grew it for the Planter Garden Challenge. I don't know what this is, but it's been there a few years. More calendula, another Japanese Mitsuba parsley. They are flowering. Now here I have, this is bed D. I've got sugar and peas. They didn't grow as tall. Is it, I need to look and see if they're supposed to be kind of shorter or if they were stunted by the garlic. This is a California Wonder bell pepper. Again, there's garlic in here. This is guardsman onion. See, it's getting new growth from the base of it. I've been just letting this grow perennially, and part of me was kind of upset with myself for not cutting off the flowers. These are all going to turn black and open up to release seeds. Because now I don't have much in the way of green onions, but that's about to be again, it's growing more from the base. So this is giant red celery, and this is more lovage, and then this is an early grow tomato. Here are my volunteer collards, waiting on these to dry so I can save the seeds, but I need to stand them up. I really didn't mean to let all of this go to seed. I've got some more garlic in here, and somewhere in here maybe there's celery surviving. Yeah, it looks like it. Over there. Over there. And I don't see the second one. But here is young Paku white bitter melon. It's climbing up the side here. And then over here, there is a cucamelon. Obviously, again, the bed needs to be weeded. And I do plan to drop some beans in here. Okay, bed E. I had dragon egg cukes over here, but they got eaten almost immediately. But I am going to drop some more seeds. 3 different types of garlic. This is bee balm, wild bergamot. Looks like it's about to flower. I planted it last year. First time it'll flower. I am going to move this one because while bee balm is great and medicinal, and it apparently is really common for it to get powdery mildew, I don't need this much. I have 3 plants. They aren't all this big, and I really don't want it taking over the bed like that. So that's going to get moved. Here, this is Goliath jalapeno. That's regular jalapeno. It's been kind of struggling. Then this is yellow cayenne pepper. Has a fruit on there. And then that is Zabrange pepper. This guy right here that also got topped. Again, I was experimenting, but now I know better. Here is lovage getting pooped on by birds. These are Oregon snow peas. They're good, they're tasty. I've grown them before, I like them, my bird liked them, but they didn't grow as well. Maybe because of the garlic, but I believe that they got eaten by critters because I planted them all along here. And this was long before, if you've not seen any of the other tours, this was long before this bergamot really took off. So, I think that was a celery. And I do have more Japanese Mitsuba parsley in here. That one and that one. Now, here is a super mess. Bed F. Yeah, I didn't get all my radish out. They started bolting. They've been bolting, and I was picking a lot of them. But now I've decided to leave them for their seed pods, which are edible and just taste mildly like radish. And this is a volunteer red Russian kale that does not appear to be affected by the heat because it has yet to bolt. This is my remaining fenugreek, which actually looks like it's not doing very well all of a sudden either. But it's a much bigger plant, and it might be because it's it might be being competed out from the weeds. But yeah, this thing fell over. Look how tall this radish stalk is. But I have Easter egg mixed radish in here, cherry bell, and there were Royal Chantenay carrots, purple carrot, and Danvers that I interplanted with the radish, but this has gotten out of control. And there's also wasabi radish. And this bed probably needs my attention more than anybody else, because as I'm telling you, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, there's onions in here too. Bianca DiMaggio red long of Tropea, and the Utah Spanish yellow sweet onion. I think I got it right that time. Now this is the burdock. I'm leaving in this bed to harvest the root myself, but she is very much out of control, as is her cousin behind her, and there's a mulberry tree back there. I had planted jicama back here, but they never... Transplanting jicama was a bad idea. I did say that I was going to drop more seeds, but I didn't do that, and it might be too late to do that. So remember, stay tuned, because I'm gonna then do another video after I've cleaned up the bed. This is a 25-gallon grow bag that I'm going to put the, what am I going to put in here? Crenshaw melon. I didn't put them in yet, and I really should, because the seedling looked so bad. I wanted it to grow up a little bit more. Really, I should have just dropped a seed. But we've got mammoth basil, zeolites calendula that is just taken off, and there was jicama in here, and that looks like a bean more than jicama. But no, that is from the jicama plant. Okay, the jicama might be making a comeback, at least that one. I didn't even bother looking at the other space to see if... Yeah, there's nothing happening here. Here's the jicama. Yeah, so let's actually maybe care now. Well, we'll see when I come back in here to... Because I got to make sure that this is... I'm pretty sure this is all Virginia creeper, but there is poison ivy that likes to grow over here. And I did pull what I saw before, but I don't want to go. Because, you know, this looks like, oh, 3 leaves. But a lot of times when the Virginia creeper leaves are young, there'd just be 3. But still, exercise caution because I don't have gloves on. So... Then this was a fruit cocktail tree before I knew at all what I was doing, and I transplanted it in November of 2023. So I'm glad that she lived. She's only got some fruit, but it looks like they're all diseased this year. I've only been able to harvest fruit from her once, and they did not taste very good at all. And I believe now it's just an apricot tree, which I thought there were at least 2 varieties left from the 4 that came on this when I bought it. And going back, I should have known not to buy, because one of the varieties was just this teeny tiny little twig. If you don't know what a fruit cocktail tree is, they do it with apples too. I do have an apple tree that has multiple varieties where they graft on different varieties. So I'd have 4 different types of stone fruit: plum, apricot, nectarine, and peach. And this mass that you see, those are elderberries. I wasn't gonna let it get that wild this year, but those are their flowers, and I might still prune a bunch of them back, but now I need to lay cardboard down and get my weed whacker out here. Hold on. I've pulled a lot of poison ivy, but there's still a lot left. So this is my in-ground flower garden. This is the first year, and it's looking pretty crazy. I do see weeds. I did weed a bunch. Was that a week and a half ago? But there's still a ton of weeds that came back. But also a lot, like all this is pink Sunday sage. Isn't she really pretty? She's got these little flowers, but then also the foliage on top is that sort of pink. That is a, I forget which one, but that's a cosmos. There were supposed to be 2, but the other one didn't make it. This is, Strawberry Fields Gomphrena. And then we have Red Raven Coxcomb. I gotta be careful because there is poison ivy tucked yellow Dune Yellow Marigold. This is Orient number 2, Coxcomb. We've got a Calendula. Okay, everyone is beating out the little red ravens, Coxcomb. These are, I believe these are the Northern Lights zinnia. Huge flowers, right? Huge flowers, look at that. Or these might be California Giants. Either way, that plant needs to be staked. There's Celosia Woolflower back there. Those are going to be Cracker Jack marigolds. My phone's about to die, so we're just going to go through this quick. There's some daylilies. They're about to flower. This is actually blue spice basil, and it is very happy. I should pick all the flowers off, so it'll keep growing. This dahlia needs my help. More blue spice basil. Another zinnia. Again, I believe that's Northern Lights. There are silver aster plants back there. More celosia. Again, those are going to be Cracker Jack marigolds, so they're going to get big. And these are sunflowers. And more sunflowers over there. The teddy bear sunflowers are super short. I don't know what's going on with them. But somewhere in there, there's mullein. It's Shades of Summer mullein. And I don't know why there's a huge gap right there. Other than that, that zinnia is supposed to be over there. But more of the coxcomb. This is Siam Queen basil. This is a volunteer squash that I was like, oh, I'll let it go. And it is huge. Good Lord. You need to go over there. More Strawberry Fields Gomphrena. That's another Cosmo. We've got daylilies back there. I have Bachelor's Button 2 on either side, and they're being eaten by rabbits. And then somewhere in here there's another Bachelor's Button back there, and there's a lot more zinnias in there. And there's 3 purple coneflower echinacea. Yeah, see, that's poison ivy. Yeah, that's poison ivy. So, yeah, she's kind of looking crazy right now, but it's awesome. Yeah, see, some of that is the elderberry growing in here. But I'm super excited for these sunflowers because I have Mammoth Gray Stripes, Autumn Beauty, Velvet Queen, and teddy bears. Yeah, sweet. Okay.